what does 6 months, what does a year look like? We always talk about be here a year from now. Well, be here 30 days from now because it's probably going to be 10x what we just experienced the first 30 days, right? Because of what we are understanding about how this token, how this ecosystem evolves within itself with just adding people that value it and start to take action and just do the dang thing. It's phenomenal, man. So take it away. Let's get into it. Appreciate you
Absolutely.
as usual, doing what you do, being so patient, and y'all have no idea how hard this man works outside the Zoom. I don't think he gets off of Zoom all day, and it's always a lot of us, but this brother here is another level. So we appreciate you, man. Continue to do the deal, and let's take it away. Take it away, man. What we got?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for spending some time with us this evening. As Mr. Francis has been saying, this has been a truly enjoyable experience. Seeing all these developments take place over the last, 30 to 45 days or so. And, the feedback that we're getting, the things that we're continuing to see manifest right before our eyes, lend to the thought process that things will continue in this upward direction for some time now. If you really think about it, again, only being in existence for that amount of time, on the Avalanche blockchain and the number of people that actually know about it right now pales in comparison to what that can look like in the next, month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the road. And I know for a lot of people that may be hard to see that far out into the future. But with a platform like, we're going to share with you this evening for those of you that are new and are trying to wrap your head around, what this is all about and why the person that shared this call with you this evening was so excited. You know, the things that are happening and the financial gain that is being experienced in real time is, I'm not saying that there's never been anything out there that has produced, returns for individuals that were involved, like this before. But what I'm saying is I doubt very seriously that there have been things or opportunities that have existed that allowed the masses to be able to participate in those endeavors and it be something that was real and sustainable at the same time. So it's not any one element of this platform or this project that, many of us have chosen to participate in. It's the culmination of many things coming together synergistically that is the awe that we are seeing. Um, right now. So what I'm going to do, and we're going to change it up just a little bit as as the evening goes on. We're going to try to shorten it up a little bit, but at the same time, many of the conversations that I've been having with individuals one on one and things like that, that are new, just coming in, is I really want to get the concept across. And I apologize for not having time to actually, create slides specifically for that. So what I'm going to do this evening is I am going to go through an overview, the one that many of you have seen before, but I'm not going to say whiz through it. I'm going to try to cover all the material, but at the end, what I want to do is actually take everybody through a walk in the experience in and of itself so that people can see what it's like to be a part of this ecosystem on a day-to-day basis. What is it that you're actually doing? What does that look like? What do you have to do every day to make this work for you? And I think that will lend some value, especially to someone that's new, either just got started or is getting ready to get started, or just the overall evaluating the opportunity as a whole so that you can have a better picture of what it's all about. And as always, anything that I say, anything that Ken or anybody else that may speak this evening may mention, none of us are financial advisors, and we're not trying to give any financial advice. We're just sharing an opportunity that, we've grown fond of, and, in hopes that, that information could potentially be beneficial for someone else in their financial journey, something that could, assist them, their family, their loved ones to position themselves to, get more out of life by having a little bit more financial flexibility, as one of my friends always says. So financial flexibility is something that this platform truly is showing itself to make available for the people that do choose to participate. Now, let me see if I can share my screen, and we will get going here. Where we at? Got so many pop-ups coming in. It's crazy here. Let's see. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are here for the very first time, the name of this platform is called GetFit Mining. GetFit Mining is a move to earn platform where individuals like you and I are able to take the movements that we perform on a day-to-day basis and earn from that movement. Now, Get Fit makes it sound like, you have to go to the gym and work out and all of those types of things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, there are definite health benefits to doing so. However, the Get Fit mining platform simply is here to encourage you to move more on a daily basis, and it incentivizes you to do so with digital rewards that have a dollar value or the ability to be turned into fiat currency and utilize that for your day-to-day living. But GetFit Mining is a platform that has actually evolved over the past 3 years into, something that many of us are looking at as a groundbreaking blockchain ecosystem as a result, basically because it's allowing us to earn as individuals from the things that we're already doing every day, getting out of bed, going to work, going to the restroom, going to get something to eat, playing with the kids. All of those activities are things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and we're able to actually earn from that. This platform was inspired by the original Bitcoin white paper, which actually set the stage for cryptocurrency and blockchain technology as many of us actually know it today. This white paper is the reason why, quite frankly, I'm pretty sure just about everybody that's on this call is here as a result of that, because it sparked a wave that is continuing, and I believe will be here to the end of time. Well, this platform is actually following those principles almost to a T. The platform is fully decentralized, and it is a self-sustaining ecosystem that's driven by the individuals that are actually participating in it. Peer-to-peer community. That's me and that's you, the people that are actually using the platform. Now, GetFit Mining is the branded name that over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks will be rebranding into MoveQuest so that the name in and of itself can do a better job of covering or umbrella or putting an umbrella over the many other things that this ecosystem or infrastructure, now that has been solidified, can actually allow us to do. We're just starting with the Move to Earn platform, but there are other things that will make themselves available to us as time progresses to utilize the same ecosystem to earn on a day-to-day basis. And when you think about the Bitcoin white paper and you really over time are able to actually grasp what this platform actually is and what it represents, I believe you will agree with me that when you step back and take a look at it, this is actually crypto being done the right way. Unlike many of the other things that, anybody that spent any time in the crypto space has truly become familiar with. And we won't go through all of these in detail, but you're looking at crypto projects that are selling pre-sale tokens just to raise money for a project that most of the time they don't have the expertise or the commitment to actually see through and be successful long term. While they're and in doing so, they're diluting the value of the assets that we typically invest in along the way, so that even if the project were to be produce a product or service to the marketplace, the value of the assets that we've acquired typically aren't really worth very much at all. Then you have trading platforms that, promise, fixed returns on a day-to-day basis that, never last for any extended periods of time. And most of the time they disappear in the middle of the night with everybody's money that has actually been, invested, and they have no recourse. Then you have smart contract platforms where people out the gate are able to actually, receive financial reward early on. But like your classic Ponzi scheme, even though it may not be designed to with negative intent in place, they typically lack, a product, service, or solution that causes people to constantly come back and need to engage with that smart contract over and over and over again, or drive business or customers to it. And what ends up happening is once new money stops coming into it, it typically fails because the engine can no longer run without that activity. And then you just have your flat out scams that are out there with people that have nefarious intent that want to hurt, harm, or endanger for financial gain. And these are the things that we typically run into in the crypto space. However, when taking a strong look at what MoveQuest, GetFit Mining, soon to be MoveQuest, actually brings to the table or to the forefront that makes it kind of stand out amongst all the other things that we typically see, is a competent development team, truly committed to the project, evidenced by the development and testing that has taken place over the last 3 years, evidenced by the fact that it is a 100% debt-free project that was self-funded by the creator with no investors, which means that no tokens were given to investors, or no tokens were allocated to the developers, and no tokens were allocated or obtained by the creator herself. For you and I, that is a blessing in disguise, because what happens typically in those scenarios is those tokens that are issued early on at extremely low costs, we end up as people that come to the table and part with our hard-earned assets, end up being the ones with the short end of the stick, because those that are holding tokens early on in large numbers at low cost are the ones that go and sell those on the open market to regain their investment back, or to be compensated for work that they have performed. In this case, the creator said, no, I'm going to pay. I'm not going to bring in any investors, and I'm going to pay the developers for the work that they do, and I'm not looking for, a financial windfall on the front end of my project. I'm going to do the same thing that I'm asking everyone else to do. And I'm going to design a platform where not the money's not coming out into the hands of a small group of people or into one person's hand. We're going to feed that back into the ecosystem so that it can continue to thrive long term. And when you put a project together that is totally decentralized, managed by smart contracts, basically taking the human element out of holding our money, the things that we have earned by using the platform, that is a formula for long-term sustainability and trust. This is a self-funding ecosystem, and it is designed to cause, or to create an atmosphere that causes those that are using the platform to want to engage with it on a daily basis. So we become the customers for the platform because we are submitting our data, our proof of physical activity, and we'll cover that momentarily, but our proof of activity on a day-to-day basis. And in doing so, The transactions that we perform consistently add liquidity to the infrastructure that helps support and maintain the value of the assets within it. That's part of what this self-funding ecosystem actually is. And that is what is meant by having a community-driven project. We engage with it, and in doing so, we are the ones supporting it. And on the design side, on the back side of it, there's a liquidity provision that knows how to, that monitors the health, if you will, of the ecosystem, and it knows when to inject liquidity, and it knows when to go out to the open market and actually pull tokens out of circulation to help support and maintain the integrity of the value of the assets that we're earning or that we're mining on a daily basis. So one would say, okay, what are the components of this ecosystem that actually make it work? What does that picture actually look like? Well, we bring our proof of physical activity to the table, the energy, the movement. That's what we do. And in doing so, the platform provides an application which is called the GetFit mining app, which is available for download on Android and iOS devices that seamlessly syncs with Google Fit and Apple Health to track users' activities such as steps, distance, calories, workouts, and sleep. These are the 5 categories that are monitored within this ecosystem that we use to mine on a day-to-day basis to allow us to be able to earn digital rewards. So they provide the application, but in order for each of us to actually be able to mine in the ecosystem, in addition to our physical activity, we have to have at least one miner mining for us in the ecosystem. However, the ecosystem is designed to where each account can have up to 7 miners working for us at a time. This somewhat gamifies this entire experience because now we can take our physical activity and then we can look at the mining capacity that our miners or our digital assets, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, whatever you want, nodes, or whatever you want to call them. This is a depiction of the 5 different levels of miners that's inside of this ecosystem. However, everyone starts at the exact same spot, and that's with presently named a Lenny miner. And that Lenny miner gives each user that acquires one a 50% mining capacity. And a person can have one or more of these. You can have as many of them as you would like. However, you can only put 7 of them to work at one time. However, if you want your miners to be stronger, you can actually increase their mining capacity at any time, which we'll talk more about momentarily. And we'll show you an example of that later, what that looks like in the real world. Now, once you've acquired your miners, you heard me mention that you can have up to 7 of them working for you at any given point in time. Well, inside of the ecosystem, there's what's called mining docks. So once you acquire a miner, you own that asset. Now you can just hold that asset and do nothing with it. You don't have to mine with it. Some people mine with some, they fill them up, they buy more to hold on for later because it's kind of like real estate. As this ecosystem grows, the value of those miners will increase as well, just like a new neighborhood. Once that neighborhood starts to fill up, the value of the homes start to go up at the same time. But when we look at mining in and of itself, we have 7 slots that we can actually dock our miners in to put them to work. If it's not in a dock, it's not working for you. If it's in a dock, it's working for you. Everyone gets a free docking slot. And the remaining 6 docking slots have a progressively increasing cost associated with unlocking that slot that will enable you to place a miner in it in order to start earning from it. Unlike many projects, when we look at the miners and when we look at the mining docks themselves, in order to participate in this platform, one has to have MQT. MQT is the symbol for MoveQuest token. MoveQuest token is listed on Uniswap, the largest decentralized exchange in the world, and it is presently on the Avalanche blockchain. So, in order to participate in this platform, one must go out and acquire MQT and then utilize, again, I say utilize, meaning there is a use case for the token, unlike many other cryptocurrencies that are out there that have zero utility. This platform, utility number one, is it is needed to acquire your miner, your Lenny miners. This is actually the only thing that you can actually purchase inside of the entire ecosystem as it stands to date. A Lenny miner, where you exchange your MQT digital asset and you receive something in return for it, being a miner. You're purchasing a miner. You're not investing, you're purchasing a miner. Then you have to unlock, if you do anything more than one docking slot or put one miner to work, you then need to use MQT, second utility, real use case. You need MQT in order to unlock the docking slots so that you can put more miners to work. Here's something that is unique, and I feel like this is a great point to interject this. A lot of people look at projects and say, well, you know what? As soon as people stop coming in, because you heard me mention it earlier when I talked about smart contract platforms. When people stop coming in, it will fail, it will fizzle because there's no new money. We're going to get to that. But one of the things in this ecosystem that helps maintain its the stability in the market is the fact that when MQT is used to purchase miners and to unlock these docking slots, they are then taken out of circulation and put into a vault. And what do you mean when you say vault? Well, let's go back. Remember earlier in the beginning, and I mentioned that this project almost mimics the Bitcoin white paper to the T? Well, we also follow their tokenomics. Just like Bitcoin, there will never be more than 21 million MQT ever in circulation. Right now, there's a finite amount of tokens that will be distributed each and every day for the next 4 years. After that 4 years is up, we have a halving, just like Bitcoin, where the number of tokens that are distributed on a daily basis are cut in half. What that does is it reduces the amount of tokens that are in circulation. And if the demand for the token continues to rise, the only thing, something has to give. And that give in this instance is it create that buy pressure with, and demand for the token causes the coin value to continue to rise. So the more people that enter this ecosystem, that means the more miners that are purchased and the more docking slots that are unlocked mean the more tokens that are taken out of circulation. And that process continues over and over and over again from now until there's no one else that wants to actually participate in the ability to earn from their day-to-day movements that they're already doing. So the way this has been structured is something that will, I believe, will attract many people for a good amount of time to come. But we'll talk more about that momentarily. So now that you have your miners and you have your docking slots that you put them in, And you heard me mention that everybody starts with the lowest powered miner being a Lenny miner. Now, those Lenny miners, one of the things I really like about this project is the fact that the barrier of entry is extremely low. It puts just about everyone across the globe in a position in target range of being able to participate in this project one way or another. Because a Lenny miner is equivalent to 50 USDT. 50 USDT, which would be the equivalent of 50 US dollars in MQT, which is what you would need to purchase it with. And that Lenny miner comes with a 50% mining capacity. Now, if an individual wants to increase their mining capacity, just like so that they could actually earn more on a day-to-day basis, they're able to evolve that Lenny up to a primary, which will double its mining capacity up to 100% for an additional 30 USDT. Now, as I'm going through this, I want you to remember before I talked about the utility of MQT in purchasing your miners and unlocking your docking slots. However, when we get to the evolution process, so for those of you that are just now getting started, and for those of you that will be getting started, keep this in mind. You need MQT to purchase your miners. You need MQT to unlock your docking slots. That pulls MQT out of circulation. When it comes to the evolution process, we're using USDT. So when the person takes this Lenny and evolves it up to a primary to get more power, this 30 USDT on the Avalanche blockchain is what goes into the evolution contract that is used for the liquidity of the project. So we're adding liquidity and we're removing supply at the same time. That is one of the other elements that's helping stabilize the pair. So the project is structured so that it never has to sell MQT tokens itself to go get liquidity, which would drive the value down. The structure of it alone helps keep it healthy. And individuals are incentivized by the ability to gain additional digital rewards each day by increasing their mining power or their mining capacity, which causes them to, or us, to want to make them stronger. So if I have this primary and I want more than 100% mining capacity, I take that primary and I evolve up to an ultra miner for 125% mining power for 40 USDT. And again, this is for each miner. So if I have 7 of these, that's going to be $280 going into liquidity. If I had 7 of these, that was another $210 going into liquidity. If I take that ultra miner and I want to evolve it up to an alpha miner so I can boost my daily mining capacity up to 175%, then that's 60 USDT per miner. So that's another 420 USDT going into liquidity. And the granddaddy of them all in this ecosystem is an Omega miner. An Omega miner allows an individual to be able to mine with up to 300% mining capacity with one miner. So if I have 7 available docking slots, the goal now, will everybody be able to do that day one? Absolutely not. But a person can start with one miner, mine with it with their physical activity, and they can then take their profits and use those profits to acquire more assets and or increase their mining capacity by evolving each one of those miners up. So you can see how everybody won't be able to come in and run straight to 7 omegas. But over time, you got people coming in at various levels that are evolving at different rates. That's doing what? It's constantly bringing liquidity into the ecosystem. And as the ecosystem grows, so will in time the market will dictate that the price of the market value and the price of the miners, the lendings will go up at a certain point. The cost to evolve will go up at a certain point. We all know that in the real world is inflation. That prices go up, values go up, just like the real estate market. This is how this works. However, for a person to get an Omega miner, you can't evolve your way up to an omega. You have to merge into an omega. And in order to do that, one would have to have two alpha miners. So, what does that mean? A person would have to take one Lenny and evolve up to an alpha, and another Lenny and evolve up to an alpha, whether it was done all at the same time or at different times. It doesn't matter whether it was done straight through or one at a time over time. Whatever the scenario, you would need two alphas to merge into an omega. That would be presently, because we're going through a rebrand phase at this time. This is discounted to 100 USDT per alpha. So 200 USDT and two alphas to obtain an omega. That will revert back to the regular price of 120 USDT. So it'd be 240 after the rebrand has concluded. So this is how you increase the actual power of your miners so that you can position yourself to earn as much as possible. The lowest end to the highest end, or anywhere in between, is where any of us can position ourselves to win with this ecosystem. It's not a competition between each other. It's really a competition between ourselves to do as much as we can physically in conjunction with the amount of mining capacity that we're able to acquire that generates our digital rewards on a daily basis. So we as individual users bring our proof of physical activity to the table, and the platform provides the app, the miners, the mining docs, and the ecosystem and structure to evolve those miners up for more power. And I always like to highlight the fact that, you heard me say track, you heard me say monitor. Had a discussion earlier today or was on a Zoom call where someone was mentioning, they don't want people knowing their business or having access to their data and all of that. And, when you really think about this, GetFit mining is not doing anything with your data. And this whole MoveQuest platform does truly prioritize everyone's privacy because they're not sharing your information with any third parties. They're not storing anything on the server. Why? Because everything that's done in this ecosystem is all done directly on the blockchain. This guarantees transparency and privacy protection for everybody involved. And if you notice, I said all transactions occur directly on the blockchain to further, highlight your privacy and how it really matters in this platform. Because everything's on chain, you never actually have to provide any of your personal information to begin with. So there's nothing to be stored. And when it comes to your physical data, what this platform is doing is what we're actually doing is generating hashes that are then saved or stored on the blockchain. And those hashes are just numbers. You walk 19,247 steps, that's a number. You cover, 8.2 miles, that's a number. Those numbers are what's being saved to the blockchain. That's how the hashes are created that validates the fact that the physical activity that was done is true. That is what's being captured, not XYZ person was on XYZ street at XYZ time. Your phone is already doing that part, not GetFit mining. So, and I highlight that because I want everybody to know this platform is not changing anything that's not already happening already, whether you know it or not, it's already transpiring. Most of the conversation up to this point, and probably if you've had discussions outside of this Zoom, have been about the ability for this platform that has this token that's just, phenomenally performing at the moment. But here's something that I always like to highlight. The financial aspects of this have been great, and they look like they may continue to be great for some time to come. But by the mere fact that individuals on a daily basis are being incentivized to get up and move more, become more active, engage with friends and family, there's a zeal, if you will, that's starting to run through the community of the people that I talk to on a daily basis that are engaged with this platform right now. And I really, really like that because more important than financial gains, most people would admit that their health, their wellness, their fitness, their overall well-being, not just for them, but for their friends and their family, is more important than the money in and of itself. This platform has been designed to actually bring all of that together cohesively into one project that allows, I like to call it the perfect marriage between health and wealth. And this platform is allowing us to actually participate in something that does both. So, what does it look like for a person to get started? Number one, you would have to have a little bit better idea of what it is that you want to acquire. Either you want to come in, with one Lenny miner, or whether you want to go all the way to, Omega miners or anywhere in between. The prices of each miner is $50, 50 USDT worth of MQT. And we'll have some scenarios for you to work through to actually figure that out. Or you can come in and say, hey, I have this amount of, resources that I can apply to this project. And then you can back into the most effective way to structure your account. Then you will need a decentralized wallet that will allow you access to Web 3.0 to be able to connect your wallet to the website and use that wallet to actually perform the transactions in the decentralized space. For those of you that are here for the first time and you're like, well, what in the world is he talking about? I'm going to show you momentarily what that looks like, but just know this. You don't have to be a crypto expert to participate in this platform. You don't have to, quite frankly, you right now, you don't need to know anything about crypto. One of the things that I like about this project, again, going back to the beginning when I said crypto being done the right way, this, especially in the decentralized space, by participating in this project in and of itself, it's going to allow you, it's going to allow you to learn crypto. It's going to learn, and I'm jealous of those individuals that are just getting started in the crypto space because I wish my experience starting out was like this because it's going to help you identify what crypto is all about, and it's going to allow you to be able to sniff out the projects that are not real crypto projects or that are not doing crypto the right way. Once you have your wallet, you're going to acquire the necessary cryptocurrency to put in your wallet. You're going to get an activation code from the person that shared it with you. And then you're going to follow the 6 steps that are on the website to walk through and get everything set up. Then you're going to download the GetFit mining app onto your phone and connect it to the fitness apps that are already on there, whether you're on iOS or whether you are on Android, either one. Those are the steps that we actually go through in order to get set up with this platform. Now, what I want to do real quick, if my computer will give me access, I want to show you one, what the sign up process actually looks like. Show you what the sign up process looks like. That way, for those that are new, you can kind of get an idea of what you're about to engage in should you decide to move forward um, with this project. It's loading. Get here. So I typically recommend if a person is using is wanting to participate in this platform, there are many um, DeFi wallets that are out there. It has been to date, rather, it has been my experience that the best experience so far is for those that are using MetaMask. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of some of the functionality that it actually allows a user to, it simplifies the actual process in a lot of ways. So what I want to do is go here. Now I will share my screen. I think if I can find it on there. Where are you? Don't want that. That over in time. All right. Ken, raise your thumb if you can actually see my phone screen, my phone on
Yeah,
the
I
screen.
see it.
You can? Okay.
Yes, I see it.
All right. So when an individual decides that this is something that they are interested in participating in, they're going to get a link from the person that shared this with them. Okay. That link is going to bring them to the GetFit mining decentralized web. Now, I am inside of a test account for mining. In that wallet, you will see that there is some AVAX, some USDT, and MoveQuest token in this wallet. Okay. Then at the bottom of your screen, you will see five icons. The second one to the last looks like a little compass. This actually takes you to the decentralized internet. It's called a dApp browser. When you go to the dApp browser and you put in the referral link or the activation link that was shared with you, it will bring you to this page where you can get started. Here, all you're doing now, right here is a list of, it's a PDF document that takes you, that walks you through all of these steps. There's six different sections. There's six different sections here. And that PDF document will literally walk you through and explain what's happening in each of the six steps with arrows and examples and graphs to assist. However, first thing you would do is connect your wallet. My wallet is connected in this scenario. And then in the next section here, you would put in, or if you use the code that was the activation link that was provided, you will have the activation code for the person that shared this with you already populated. Then you would simply save that to the blockchain. What this does is it lets the blockchain know that your wallet address is now active. You are now officially a part of the ecosystem, and the smart contracts can read your wallet. Okay. Then step three, you will come down here, and here's where you can actually create, some will call it a username, but that username is also used as an activation code. So in the event that you decide to share this with someone else in the future, you can just give them your activation code and they will, if they come to getfitmining.com, they can just put your activation code here in section one, number two. All right. And then you would type that in and you would save it as well. If you have not, if you have not already purchased MQT by the time you get to this point, if you're using MetaMask, you can simply go back to your wallet and you can swap AVAX if you have it in your wallet already, or USDT directly into MoveQuest so that you can acquire MoveQuest. Or you can click on buy MQT and it will take you directly to Uniswap, which is the exchange in which MQT is presently available. And you can swap for it there, USDT directly into MQT. You have that choice, whichever one is easier for you or whomever it is that is, assisting you or whatever instructions that you're looking at, just follow those instructions and it will simplify that part of the process for you. Then we get to section 2. If you notice, the sections that I'm calling out of 6 all have a yellow square with a number in the top left corner. So in section 2 here, this is where you would come and you will, once you have a valid activation code. This account doesn't have a valid one. So, but once it has a valid activation code, you will be underneath this miner will be a button that says allow. And this is where you purchase your miners. All miners are purchased in section 2, mint additional miners. If you want to buy one, you just buy one. If you want to buy two, you buy two. If you want to buy 20, you buy 20, but you do it all right here. Once you purchase those miners, you will scroll down to section number 3. And again, those miners are acquired in MQT. Now, if you want to increase the power of each of those miners, you can evolve and or merge those in section 3. However, you will notice it says this is optional. You do not have to do this. You do not have to do this, or you can come back and do it at some point in the future. There's no time limit on any part of the process. So here's where you would actually evolve should you choose to do so. Then in section 4, this is where you would come and unlock your docking slots. Now, this particular screen right now is because I don't have it saved or an active code in. But in section 4, you will see the 7 docking slots that are available for you to unlock. The first one will already be unlocked and it will be green. The rest will be red. Anything you want open, click on it until it turns green. Follow the prompts until it turns green. Then in section 5, all of the assets that you have acquired will be visible under your inventory. Once they're visible under your inventory, you can simply click on each one of them and add them to the mining dock. Then you'll come to step 6, and this is something that's very important. One of the things that we didn't mention earlier was security. Even though everything is on chain, this project has also been designed to help keep your assets safe and secure. So when it comes to your wallet, after you go through the sign up process, we never have to connect our wallet to the GetFit mining app itself. This is not the app. This is the GetFit mining Web3 website. The app is something that you will download onto your phone, which we're going to show you momentarily. Once you download it, once you've gone through the setup process, it gives you an internal spending wallet address so that you never have to connect your MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Token Pocket Wallet, or whatever wallet you're using. You never have to make it vulnerable by connecting it to an app on your phone. Inside of your wallet, it will have, which here in the sign up process will give you your internal spending wallet address. Why is that? because anytime you're doing transactions on the blockchain, there's always what's called gas fees that have to be paid. So we will send or need to send by copying the spending wallet address, send AVAX, which is the native token to the Avalanche chain, into your mining wallet, the app on the phone, so that when we submit our daily activity, there's gas fees to cover it. Why? Because everything we do inside this ecosystem is recorded to the blockchain. No gas, no recording. Gas, you can record. That is why you have an internal wallet to protect you and to be able to still facilitate the processes necessary in the ecosystem. Then, last but not least, if you have an Android device, here is where you would click to download the GetFit Mining app directly onto your phone. Here, if you have an Apple or iPhone, you would click here and you will be able to download the app onto your phone. If you have an iPhone, this will be changing here pretty soon after the rebrand. But right now, when you click this is on an Android device, so it's not going to work if I click on it right now. But when you click this on an iPhone, it's going to give you a two-step process to download the app onto an iPhone. The first one, if you do not already have Test Flight. Test Flight is a bridge for apps that are active on iOS but not fully available in the App Store. If you download Test Flight in step one, you will see right underneath it, once you set up Test Flight and it asks you for a redemption code or it says redeem, then you go to step two. It will automatically pull in all the data that you need so you don't have to go searching for anything. You just follow the prompts and the instructions on the screen. And again, if you follow these instructions at the top, it walks you through and explains the things that I just mentioned, step by step through all six of these categories. And once that has been completed, then you can go to the GetFit mining app itself. You will follow the prompts that it gives you to make the connections. And we have videos that are available, or if they're not already, they can or will be made available. And there's plenty of us that were willing to help walk you through this process. But this is what your day-to-day looks like once you have set up your account and have everything up and running on your device. The system is going to pull in your steps, your calories, your distance, any workouts that you've done, the amount of sleep that you have on a daily basis. Each one of these has a target, not a mandatory rule to get to earn rewards, but a target. Steps has a target of 20,000 steps a day. Calories in between 2,000 and 4,000 calories per day. Distance, 10 miles, up to 10 miles. Workouts, up to 2 hours. Sleep, up to 8 hours. When you hear people say, I'm maxing out my potential, that means they're getting 20,000 steps. They're getting 2 to 4,000, they're burning 2 to 4,000 calories. They're covering 10 plus miles a day. They're working out for up to 2 hours a day, and they're getting 8 hours of sleep. Now, is everybody going to do that every single day? Absolutely not. The breakdown of how you get paid from this activity is as is like this. Steps makes up 30% of your earning potential each day. So if you max out steps, you'll get the full 30% for steps. Calories makes up 5%. So if you max out calories between 2 and 4,000 calories a day, you'll get your full 5%. If you distance is 10 miles. If you cover the full 10 miles, you'll get the full 30% for distance, which workouts up to a 2 hour workout. If you get 2 hours, you get the full 30% for that. And sleep is 5%. If you get 8 hours of sleep, you'll get the full 5%. What happens if you don't get the maximum or reach the target goal for each one? Whatever percentage less is what you get. So if you only did 1 hour workout, you won't get 30%, you'll get 15%. You don't get 20,000 steps, you get 10, you'll get 15%. Then you ask the question, 15% of what? 30% of what? Well, if you go and look at your miners, when you purchase your miners, and in this particular account, there are 7 Omega miners in this account. If you look in the top right-hand corner, it tells you, based on the miners that you have, the number of max shares you can actually earn on a daily basis. And in this instance, it says on this account that 7.997 million shares can actually be generated on a daily basis. That's the max. 7.997 based on what? If you open up your miner and you look at the miner, each miner is different. Each miner has different attributes. In this particular case, for example, this miner, if you look down below, it shows every one of them has an element, which I don't know what the power element is. So I don't know what percentage bonus goes with that. In a minute, we'll see one that I can explain so that you can understand conceptually. But this one, oh, I'm sorry, this is a mother element. Don't know what that one is either. But if you look, you see steps, 4%, distance, 3%, calories, 7%, workouts, 3%, sleep, 5%. What that means is, in addition to, you see max shares right below the word power. It says this miner gives me the ability to earn up to 1.079 million shares with just this one miner. And in addition to and over and above from that 1.079 million, it provides me a bonus. So if for steps, if you're able to get, if you get maxed it out, for example, at 30%, because I get a 4% bonus for steps on this miner, I can get up to 34%. I can get up to 33% on distance because it gives me a 3% bonus. I can get a set up to 7% more on calories. Workouts has a bonus percentage. Sleep has a bonus percentage. So technically, you can get more than the 1.079 million shares that this particular miner actually provides. This particular one is, look at the element. I can explain this one. Look at the element. This is a water miner. It gives me 9% bonus for steps, 6% for distance, 2% for calories, 1% for workouts, and 2% for sleep. But look at the element. It's a water element. What does that mean? That means that if I do a workout and it is a water related workout, swimming, kayaking, whatever it is, if it's a water related workout, that means this particular miner will give me an additional bonus on top of the 1.091 million that it provides. So you would say to yourself, wait a minute, if I'm a swimmer, a big swimmer, or if I'm a big kayaker, or whatever the case may be, I want to acquire water NFTs. NFTs with the element signifying water. Why? Because this water, I don't know the percentages off the top of my head, But for example, this water may give you a 10, 15, 20% bonus every day for doing a water workout. Just because your activity was in the water, it gives you a blanket bonus on all your shares, percentage wise. Look at another one. What is this? Nature. Nature is if you choose to do a workout outside, outdoor walking, bicycling, whatever the case is, it will give you a bonus on this NFT for working out outdoors. So if you're a person that works out outdoors most often, you're looking and saying, wait a minute, I want nature NFTs. In addition to the additional bonuses down below, you get that 10, 15, 20% or whatever it is for a nature workout. If you have a nature workout and you do a water work and you do a, I'm sorry, if you have a nature NFT and you do a water workout, you don't get that bonus. That's how the gamification starts to come into play. And the ecosystem itself will have an in-house marketplace where individuals can list their NFTs for sale, or you can go and purchase NFTs because when we buy mine, I'm sorry, when we purchase our lineage or when we go through the evolution process, none of these NFTs are currently in existence. They're minted in real time, and no two of them are alike. None of them. So if a person is searching for all natures, all waters, all steels, or whatever the case is, they may not get it by minting them or evolving. They can swap like trading cards. So as you can start seeing, the gamification aspect starts to come into play because a person may be do a lot of outdoor workouts, but they got all passion element, NFTs. They want to get nature ones. They may be willing to pay a little bit more for those because they know long term it's going to pay, they're going to get more benefit out of it. So these miners have value as it relates to that over and above just the base mining capacity that it comes up showing max shares. So when you look up here in the top right hand corner and your miners tell you that this is your max shares, just know and understand you can exceed that with all the other bonuses and attributes that are associated with the various miners in the ecosystem. So you go out every day, you wake up, you go out every day, you perform your activity, and all you're doing on a daily basis is going to the bottom and you're clicking on where it says earnings. You click on earnings, and it pulls up where you can submit your data. I mean your activity for the day. So let's look at September the 3rd, for example, the red rectangle on the right. 21,000 steps, 8.54 miles, 2,900 calories burned, 2-hour workout, 8 hours of sleep. All categories were maxed out other than distance. So you're looking at, a couple percentages below the 30% for distance. You noticed that the max shares was 7.7 million, but 9.1 million shares were actually accumulated that day. That's because of the bonuses. Then all you're going to do is it won't be red and say submit. I mean, submit it. It'll be green and it will say submit. And you literally are just going to click anywhere inside that square and a pop-up box will come and you click submit again. That is all you're doing every day outside of your physical activity. When you do that, it will go down and you will see your history down below, and you can come down and you can claim anytime you like. If you notice in the green, you can click claim and you can act those tokens that you've earned will immediately be visible in your decentralized wallet. You can click claim at any time that they or have been made available in your back here. Anything that you see in the red at the bottom, like September the 4th, that it's in red because it is still in an open submission period. What does that mean? Each person has 24 has a full 24 hours and up to 48 hours in order to submit their data. If you do not do it in that time period, then you lose the ability to submit it. If you're ever in doubt or don't know or need to understand when that cutoff time is based on where you are geographically, because we're all around the globe, everything in this back office is based on your day is based on your time zone. So from midnight to midnight counts your activity day. The expiration, however, goes by Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Coordinated Time. And the clock is inside of the app itself. So as you can see, 2 hours and 11 minutes ago, we're 2 hours and 11 minutes into a new day based on Universal Coordinated Time. So 3 hours and 49 minutes from now, this will flip over. It will show day 7. It'll be September the 7th, and a new day will start. So as long as you submit before the second day that this flips over, then you're fine and you can submit that data. What does that look like? Well, for those of you that are new, you talk about earning potential or what have you. And I apologize, I don't have another example to use, but let's just take the first available day here that is final. The first 2 days are still in that you see with the red dot to the far left are days that are still open for people to submit. So we call those still in an open round or submission period. So we come down to the third level and we'll use it as an example. On that particular day, 9.163 million shares under the My Shares column was generated from the proof from the mining capacity on this account and the physical activity that was performed. Then you'll notice right here that 7.022 billion shares were submitted globally. That means out of all the people in this ecosystem that individually had their shares that submitted on that day for this particular day, and I believe this would have been September the 2nd, I believe. They submitted that day, total 7 billion. The number of shares you as a user generated on that day represented a percentage of the 7 billion that was submitted. That percentage is displayed on the screen. So out of the 7 billion, this 9.163 million made up 0.1305% of all the shares that were submitted. And in this ecosystem right now, and I know somebody gonna pull out their calculator and look, but in this ecosystem right now, there are, as I can show you, 2,500 tokens distributed every day. The percentage of shares, of your shares that's represented out of the 7 billion creates this percentage. You then get 0.1305% of the 2,500 tokens that are distributed that day, because this is the percentage of all the shares that were submitted globally that your participation represented. And in this instance, on this day, that would have been 3.26 share. I'm sorry, MQT tokens for that day. 3.26 tokens. So the current value, I'm not sure where it is, but it looked like it was around $78, I believe it was, at the beginning of this call. So, and I can't remember what it was. 78 times 3.62. Is that what that was? My memory that bad, that fast. Let's just say that's it. Let's just say that's what it was. So if that's the case, that would have been 200 and based on today's price, that was a $282.36 day from the proof of physical mining that was submitted that day by itself. And that is how the process actually works on a day-to-day basis. I'm sorry, it was 3.26. Well, let me be let me be right. 78 times 3.26. So 200, my bad, 256. I'm good with that too. So 254.28 for that particular day. And that is consistent. If you are consistent, rather, and you are maxing out your potential on each and every day, that's what it could look like for you, depending on the amount of mining capacity that you actually have. And that's the reason why people will constantly want to. Again, it'll happen at different time periods, but that is the reason why there's a demand for the evolution process in this ecosystem, which consistently is feeding the liquidity pool. And then everybody that is submitting on a daily basis, when you come over here and you click submit, you're paying a gas fee from what? That internal spending wallet that we talked about. You're paying a gas fee to the blockchain, and you're also paying a transaction fee to the ecosystem. As the value of the token increases, so will the transaction fee. But the transaction fee is always lower than the value of the digital reward on the other side. That is how multiple people in this ecosystem submitting on a daily basis consistently brings liquidity in because the demand is there to submit because they want the digital reward on the other side on a daily basis. And that is how this ecosystem can continue to grow and function long term, even if no new people are coming to the table. So, Ken, I'm going to turn it back over to you, sir, in case I don't know if you had any, wanted to take any questions or had anything, any other things lined out, but that's what I wanted to share this evening. And there you go.
Yeah, I don't have anything, man. I just yeah, I'm just pretty blown away by your consistency, man. Just great job. I mean, a total another angle, on this whole concept. I learned something tonight about I know you had me back there looking at my miners totally different. I was pulling them up and like, oh, let me see if I have a one for swimming and all this stuff. I had no idea that those attributes really had real benefit, and I was just posting in the chat how crazy the marketplace is going to be. And when people are, looking for specific types of miners that cater to their workout, or cater to what they do every day, or if they're, if they're out in the garden, or if they're walking, hiking in the forest. I mean, all kinds of cool things, man, are gonna branch out and those, you call them those tentacles, right? From this platform that are just gonna be so cool to experience and be in a group of be involved with a group of people that really are all on the same wavelength, man. Yeah, great presentation. I don't have anything. I see Bob Parsons and Stella had their hands up there. And we can wrap this one up. That was phenomenal.
Okay.
No.
Well, if you guys have a question, if you can go ahead and throw it in the chat for us,
Yep. Yeah, I just got your message.
you can go ahead and throw that in the chat. If not, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. Again, like always, we appreciate all of you for coming out and, sharing your time with us. We want everybody to understand what this is and how it operates and make sure that it is something that, you're comfortable with in order to, before you engage. And yeah, that's what that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. 1 second. How did you get to that last screen showing the levels and how many Lenny's did that account have? You can actually go to if I mean, with that particular one, it had zero. But if you have the app and you go into it, and this is something I recommend that everybody do. If you have the applications, you've already set up an account, take some time and literally go through and click on everything. And over time, figure out what everything is. If you don't know something specific, that's what we should be using the chat for. Those are the things that help each and every one of us grow and become better and understand this entire ecosystem. I always tell this to people in some of my trainings. If you set up an account, especially if it has anything to do with your money, I don't care if it's crypto or outside of crypto. If you don't know what every page, every tab does, what's behind that door, we're trusting others without, especially in the centralized world, we're trusting others. We've grown accustomed to people just doing stuff for us. When you step over into the crypto space, especially, you are in control. You are the one that is responsible now. There's nobody, most of the time in the crypto space, there's nobody to call. If you're dealing in the DeFi world, you want to take some time and click on the things in your wallet, in your accounts, and know what's behind each and every door or what have you. So, Ken, I appreciate you. We're gonna ask questions maybe on the next call. Please come back if you have questions, technical ones, things like that tomorrow at noon. I'm sorry, not at noon, at 2 p.m. Eastern. Hold on and we'll see whether or not we're going to do a call. I know Brandon is doing calls on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I believe he's doing one tomorrow as well. Um, I'm in Texas, guys, and it's September, and we call
Friday
that
Night
Friday Night
Lights.
Lights.
Friday Night Lights, baby.
It's
Yeah,
Friday
yeah.
Night Lights time or what have you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and call it now. We won't be doing a presentation call tomorrow night. However, if Brandon is still doing his, we will definitely want everybody to come out at 8 p.m. Eastern and support his call. And if you have any new people, bring them there. And should something happen or is needed over the weekend, we'll definitely get that out as well. But right now, guys, we have a lot of content. We have a lot of information that's out there. It's just time to execute. We all got excited last night with, Miss Lynette here sharing the information, her vision, and the direction of this platform. And we really would like to see that push and that move, for that, Project 10,000 to actually, come to fruition here in the very, very near future. So
Yeah.
with that,
Let's
guys,
do it.
we're going to go ahead and close it out unless you have something else, Ken.
No, I'm just, a couple of people in the chat. I mean, just get to the Telegram. I'm probably going to end up doing a training on the Telegram. I think some people don't know how to navigate it. It's okay because it can be a little different on different devices. But if you go into Telegram, there are different topics, right? There's topics like recordings. There's ones for tools and PDFs, and just find where you're needing assistance, and then post in that chat accordingly if it's more of a conversation, and then or just click around and scroll up and find the recording you're looking for. Go in there, like Rehearsal said, click around a little bit, right? And hold yourself accountable there and learn some of this stuff because we're better for it. Moving forward, we can show others how to do the same thing. It's all about duplication right now. It's all about how we could show a person, how to get over the hump, get over that initial that blocker. Like most people, I don't know, they get frantic, they get a little anxiety, and they feel like they just check out. We don't want people like that, right? We want to help them see that this is not as hard as you're making it, right? It's not as complicated at all. But how do we do that? We set up a precedence. We set up a certain type of environment for those people to grow, right? And that's what these chat rooms are for. I see a little confusion in there here and there, but overall, I think we're doing a great job, man. So yeah, get into the Telegram group, get into the Facebook community, Twitter, CoinMarketCap support, post, like, share, do that. All that helps the community grow and grab attention as well, which is we know that's important as well. So go ahead, Herschel.
Yeah, and I'm just going to touch this. And Bob, if I'm not sure which screen you were referring to, but if you go to earnings and at the bottom of the earnings tab, there's three tabs. Click on each one of those, and you'll see one of the pages that you were referring to. And if you're looking at the miners themselves, the NFTs themselves, you go to the doc and you just click on each one of them, and it will pull up what it is their attributes actually are. And then I believe it was Miss Vasquez. No, you do not have to have MetaMask on your phone because I know a lot of people, prefer to use their PC over their phone when they're dealing with their wallets and so forth. You do not have to have a wallet on your phone. You have to have a wallet, but it does not have to be on your phone. That's what I was saying earlier. That's why there's an internal spending wallet so that it doesn't have to ever be linked to anything, which means it doesn't have to be on the same device. And no, so if you have it and you delete it, no problem. 1 second. Get the info. And as far as I'm waiting to get that list as well, the breakdown of all the different elements. Here's the reason why we don't have it right now. It does exist. However, over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, let's
Mhm.
just say with the rebranding, a lot of stuff is going to look different.
All of it.
It's going to look different. The
Yeah.
the attributes are going to be the same. It may be
Yeah.
called something different. I just put it out there like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Hmm.
All of that information is being built right now. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I just know it's being built right now. So in short order, all of that's going to be a part of the rebrand. The everything is going to be included, clear and concise for everyone. Process flow, streamlined, all of that. Um, can we get percentages again, please? Oh, yes. Steps, distance, and workouts all represent 30% of what we earn on a daily basis. Those steps, distance, and workouts make up 90% of the daily payout. Sleep, 5%, calories, 5%. So steps, distance, and workouts is where the money is.
Hmm.
This is extra. This just completes it.
Little gravy.
Well, you know what? Since I did it, I might as well let me not let me add this other little piece in there. I forgot. I forgot. They want to know this too. For those of you that may not be aware of this, when it comes to your daily activity, and let's call it steps, get over there, let's share. Let's go right here. I want you guys, and you can do this on your own app too. You see where it says steps? You want to tap on steps, and it will bring up a chart. You will see 4 tiers from blue all the way up to red. You get bonuses. This is the only thing in the entire ecosystem that you get bonus for intensity. If you're walking 0 to 60 steps per minute, I don't think there's a bonus for that. If you're in tier two, over 60 steps and below 79 steps per minute, bonus. Tier three, 80 steps a minute up to 99, bonus. Tier four, 100 steps a minute and above, that's the highest bonus. I'm not sure what the percentage bonus is, But the goal is to have more steps in the higher tier to get more bonus. That's another way you can earn over and above the capacity of your miners. So didn't want to leave that part out. So
Yeah, that
that's
basically
another one.
means that means you need to run.
Well, you don't. Well, you'd be
Yeah.
surprised. A brisk walk will put you
Yeah. Oh
at
yeah.
100
Oh
steps a
yeah.
minute.
Yeah. It just from a walk to a run is what those categories are touching. I think Mr. Quentin Bradford had a good testimonial on that. He noticed that those intensity steps did
Yeah,
make
they
a
make they
difference.
make they make a huge difference.
Big time.
So
Yeah.
so for those of you that
Yes,
are
Bob. Yes, it
so
does.
so for those of you that are Android users, the reason why, and yes, you can set the phone up to use um Samsung Health. You absolutely can. Right now, and they are aware of this and they are working on it. But right now, if you use Samsung Health, it does not track intensity. Everything will be in tier one. So even though your Samsung watches may be tracking more steps, 1,000, 2,000 more steps per day than Google Fit, the mere fact that you get these bonuses far outweighs that extra 1,000 to 2,000 steps that you get from using Samsung. That's the difference. That's why I know if I've spoken to you or walked through the process, I'm saying Google Fit, Google Fit, Google Fit. That's why.
Boom. There it is.
All right, everybody.
Good
We're going to
stuff.
go ahead and close this one out. Again, we appreciate you coming and spending some time with us this evening, and we will see you next time. Yes, you can ride a stationary bike for a
Hmm.
workout, but it will not count for steps.
No, it
It's
will
a
not.
workout.
That's right.
There's
Wave those
sensors,
arms.
there's
Wave those
sensors
arms.
in the phones and the watches
Hmm.
that determine rotation,
Yes.
which is different than a step motion.
Hmm.
And some
Yeah.
people have figured out those tricks too, but
Oh yeah.
but we'll say that one for another day. All right,
Yeah.
guys, we out of here. We'll keep talking.
Good night, everybody.